phone card.
Only phase 2, the blue's damage is not that high, so I'm not too scared. You know what, let's just forget about Aurora for the next 5 minutes and we'll see where they are if they make it. So I'm not too scared. You know what, let's just forget about Aurora for the next 5 minutes and we'll see where they are if they make it in the zone or not, because this circle's tough, so that means there's going to be a lot of edge zone gatekeeping. So any late rotations, not only for Aurora, but the likes of even Weibo, Influence Rage, S2G, E-Arena, even Furia. Actually, no, everyone else but Furia might have a bit of a tough entry point, because Furia, I'm looking at the map, this is really interesting, Hot Jukes.
Okay.
Went for wide western rotation north of the riverside, and north of the river, there's like only 2 teams in all gamers, and RQ could also encounter Al-Ula on that position. But Furia, I would say, one of the best rotations of this entire game, and that's keeping in mind they also got a few eliminations inside Yulin, so the start of this match for Furia is looking absolutely fantastic.
Very beautiful safe rotate. Yeah, to be able to hug that circle all the way to the top.
थोड़ा सा इसको ऊपर करना पड़ेगा.
A single team is even in that area, so they have the whole entire north to themselves, calling the Starks at this point. Now you have Milu driving up with Tianba. They're going to try to find a good, solid position into this next zone. We'll see where that circle goes. Still a lot of teams in this blue zone. You got E-Arena there to the left side. You got Influence Rage coming on up. The zone shifts south. Okay, so now Furia are going to have to drive on down. They should have at least a couple spots that hillside past that bridge available, but it's going to be a tough rotation for all these other teams.
I mean, if you're Furia and you do that rotation, you should also kind of expect the circle to maybe pull down south, and then you should have a plan B. And
Hello. आवाज आ रही. Hello.
Whatever it is, hopefully they have.
आवाज आ रही.
Because otherwise, that cross against the likes of All Gamers, Thunder Talk, and Al-Ula is not going to be an easy target, and they're going to have their work cut out for them.
पढ़ने दे यार दीपू पढ़ने दे. इस तरह की पढ़ने दे आज तू.
KRX and Bigatron. And as they are the current lobby leaders, already up to 3 eliminations, this is looking like a scary setup for all other 15 teams. Chamba, if they get a massive performance here, Hot Jukes, fair to say that for the Smash ruling tomorrow, it's going to start to get really scary for all the other teams in this lobby. But if you know Chamba are in that position and you flush out a playoff Chamba, do you just fully crash into the game and allow yourself to catch up? That's something to keep in mind.
It definitely is. It's just so difficult to do when you need every single point that you possibly can get. I think if you know you have the advantage, you can't hesitate. That's for sure. But if you're in a if it's like kind of a spot where you think you're going to get taken out just because you're trying to take out Tianba, I don't know if you do that just yet, considering the leaderboards are still so tight. But at a certain point, yeah, you really have to worry about them. You got to try to slow them down here, because if they get such a massive lead, and when they do decent in Rondo tomorrow, I mean, they could easily finish the tournament in 2 games.
RRQ, though, getting completely surrounded under the bridge here for Nopeko. Can't even fight back onto Flower. Him fully taken on out. The recall tower still there.
WBG को क्या हो गया?
Right, so it's not impossible.
WBG पिछली बार की चैंपियन टीम है ना यार. ऐसा ही खेलेगी वो.
Make it straight to that recall tower, so maybe Nopeko.
John, ओए दीपू ग्रुप में भेज दे. ग्रुप में मास्टर गॉड लोग भी आ जाएंगे. ग्रुप में भेज दे लिंक. आ जाओ लिख दे.
So we talk about Sook usually as like the explosive bow guy, but all these PEL players are so good with that weapon, they are going to try and use it to its absolute full potential.
Yeah, especially here in Rondo, right? Because you can use that explosive.
धनुष ही चलाएगा ये.
You know, be able to put your.
धनुष के अलावा ये शुक के बस की कुछ नहीं है. लग गया तो लग गया वाला सीन है इसका बस.
To bust it out. But we are seeing some eliminations happening in the feed. We're looking at KRX right now. They're just kind of keeping their sight lines on to Thunder Talk. We got an engagement here. It's S2G versus E-Arena. Initial knock on a turn. Joker does have an edge. Pretty far away from his team. Nice shots there. Something is knocked. And now you have Lost applying that pressure here. Knocks back and forth, but LGD are going to be joining the party.
LGD के third party आ गई भाई.
Straight for the high ground. He's going to have a perfect line of sight onto Lost here. No way he survives it. And actually, it's going to be E-Arena to wrap up that fight in style with that utility. E-Arena up to 4 eliminations, and that's 2 massive L's.
EDR, center of the zone.
Against Thunder Talk, they lose it against E-Arena. So got to try and redeem himself on a wrangle as E-Arena here getting chased down. LGD, what an absolutely perfect timing on that third party. When E-Arena are at their absolute weakest, they strike. Schweppes just trying
इससे
to
अच्छा इस पे तो दीपू मार देता यार.
Be able to do so successfully for now, but the rest of his teammates not going to have a similar fate. That is him down as a solo for what should be the rest of this game.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt E-Arena. I thought they were able to get that.
अरोरा की फाइट हो गई guys. Top dog आ गया यहाँ.
A little too late, and LGD, you mentioned perfect timing to get that third party going.
No,
And they
no.
definitely need those points. Look at D+ though.
DK और अरोरा की फाइट हो गई भाई.
Onto Aurora. Chips trying to get that initial knock with the nade. Fabian is knocked here. Ziol is down.
Ziol गया.
Okay, shots happening back and forth.
Dog गया.
Influence Rage is third partying this from the hillside. They get the knock onto Chips. Top gonna be pushing up with the shotgun. Does he have the shots? He'll get that confirmation for sure, but Chips gets the revenge.
Yeah, Top is
मारा है भाई, मारा है, मारा है.
He secures the elimination and also allows a reset onto Ziol. So Ziol, as you can see, back up on his 2 feet, ready to work.
अरोरा को घेर लिया भाई पूरी. DK ने घेर लिया. ऊपर से वो फाइयान मार रहा है. वो फावियान मार रहा है ऊपर से.
It does take out Ziol entirely. What a play. D+ might just be a solo player now in this location. As
Dog बज गया भाई.
out in a distance.
नेड आ गया.
Such an impossible res. D+ going to be down as one for the rest of this match.
गए
And he
भाई.
gets it done. No way. He pulls it out. Takes down one of our top squads.
कहाँ से रेड मारा है देखा?
D+ here on fire as a solo.
जॉनी देख रहे हैं.
That all day.
50 रुपए वाले कस्टम में भी ऐसा दिमाग नहीं लगा पाते तू.
D+ take out Aurora. That's the second place team gone. Tianba still up with 4. That could
भाई साहब टियानबा ने लीड कितनी मार रखी है ये.
Fudia up there. They're in third. They can make something happen. Let's see what happens though. As RRQ gonna get this defense on there.
ओ भाई 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 भाई.
Great work there.
इसके टीम वाले ने मारा है भाई.
They're gonna have a tough time getting into the circle, but they got a ton of eliminations to start things off.
Yeah, really just building so much momentum from the get-go. Tianba 5 elims also for Milu, Eagle, Aking, QZ get himself 1 each. So a pretty decent spread of all these players. And also good transition, making himself a little bit of a strong dip here. It's good to hide the cars. They got a natural rock and put down a few cover flares. They're just building a fortress, turning it into Fort Knox. As Furia, you can see...
तेरे को इसका कहाँ से मिला डोजी? अरे यार मास्टर गॉड यही तो है सिस्टम. देखो ना तुम यार. साथ देखो तुम. ये देखो DK एलिमिनेट हो गई यहाँ.
For Tianba, which, as we stated, is scary, especially now that Aurora were taken out. If they eliminate Furia, that's the second and third place out of the picture entirely, and it's already looking pretty bad. But Aking will get knocked. QZ denied in the tower. It seems like the push might be working out in favor of Furia.
मेरे से तगड़ा खेल रहे. तेरे से भी तगड़ा खेल रहे भाई. International contact है मास्टर गॉड. International contact.
I think they definitely know. Yeah, after that elimination, they know.
मजाक समझ रहे हो क्या तुम? टोजी को छोटा मोटा इंसान समझ रहे हो क्या? International भाई, international contact है ये.
That is going to be the top 4 teams out, and Tianba are going to be looking so set up.
Yeah, as I talked about, you get an aid range. They instantly turn that Nox player into an opportunity to close the gap, get an aid range, and get so much damage.
Quality कितनी गंदी दे रहे हैं यार ये लोग ये.
Of that fight. He got it though. It's not going to be an easy push. I feel like they are going to have to suffer some casualties eventually.
Furia.
But they do get another one. Oh my goodness, the fight is working out
Tianba का एक knock.
Taking down the lobby leaders. The Molotov, it's massive onto QZ, instantly denying the high ground away. And now they're going to be using that dip.
180 है यार, full है full.
The tides have been turned.
अरे CORSAIR
out in the open, but still wins out the clash. How does he do it? Tianba still alive with 8 massive eliminations.
Full है full.
Oh my goodness, Tianba are dominating this lobby. 70
TD की third party आ गई.
So far, second, third, fourth out. All gamers only have 1.
Zinking. Zimmy.
These guys are going to create such a point gap. As Tianba now
Jimmy गया नेट से.
Finally shut down these Titans here. They are stuck in a very tough spot here. It's going to be up to Tianba to hit some big shots.
Jimmy ने एक knock दे दिया भाई.
With a nice nade onto Milu is going to make things tough for Tianba.
This is a perfect third party. Look at that amazing 2-2 split.
इतनी ही आती है इनके में.
2 strong locations. They can't even fight back, and is even
वही यार.
Going for a little bit of a third party.
मेरे पे 720 720 आ रहे क्या?
But AJ will steal that point away. It's not for South Korea. Goes straight in the hands of the Chinese team of Thunder Talk. As Aking now as a solo, still got a few meds to work with. Just like, please, guys, this is too many players against me. The odds are definitely not even. As he's hoping to just survive a little bit deeper, maybe make it to a placement point. Actually, it is top 8, so Chamba will at least get 1 placement point, which could make a massive difference heading into tomorrow.
अरे यार मेरे वहां से हुआ होगा यार ये
So I mean they are doing great.
AG के भी लग गए
right here. Thunder Talk are trying to take out.
अरे भाई क्या नेड मारा है देख रहा है KRX ने
Like I know Tiamba's around here somewhere. We got to get these guys out of here.
दीपू ये KRX वही है ना DRX
All right. Top 5 teams.
DRX के ही बंदे तो हैं इसमें शायद KRX में या अलग है ये
The rest of the lobby to try and catch up.
This is what we wanted to see. E-Arena as a solo, I'm really not expecting much right now for the side of Schweppes, but Bigatron, Al-Ula, KRX, and even Thunder Talk here, massive opportunity for them to make their climb, make their ascent to the very tippy top of the rankings. As now KRX, really good respect play. I love it.
एक प्लेयर बदला है शायद
Thunder Talk, quick regroup on the northern edge.
हाँ वो नोलबू करके था वो वहाँ चले गया DK में चले गया शायद वो
To maybe backstab KRX, they instantly read right into it. This is just showcasing how
हाँ DRX चेंज हो गई KRX है अब वही यार KRX हो गई अब देख रहे हो टॉप टीमें जो टॉप 5 टीमें हैं भाई पूरी सारी मर चुकी हैं 1 से लेके 5 तक की टीमें मर चुकी हैं देखो ये कमबैक कर सकती है ये तियानबा ने कल बहुत तगड़ा खेला गया भयंकर 76 पॉइंट यार
Schweppes all by himself, just trying to hold on, trying to get some placement points for his squad. He's got a nice little bunker he's kind of made there, so he should be okay for now. But if the zone shifts away,
नोलबू नहीं ह्यूनबिन गया है अच्छा 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 अच्छा
let's stay on to Schweppes, so it goes down to the south side here, or at least more heavily towards the south. And LGD, you're gonna have an
कल कुत्ता भरा इनने सबका
You have to, right? You want to try and take up that defensive position.
तियानबा तो जब तक मैं देख रहा था बहुत पीछे थी यार ये लास्ट के मैचों में वाट मार दी मतलब इसने
nice little house there.
Yeah, he's put down so many cover flares. I mean, we did see for LGD there for a second. He does have that.
हाँ ह्यूनबिन गया है लिख रहे हैं मुझे मैंने पढ़ लिया वो
If they want to go there, they can even re-solidify that position even more, just making sure no off angle will be able to.
BTR.
As BTR, though, also very comfortable. And the cool thing about this dip in particular, one, you can hide your cards, which is always great. But also, if you want to get in nade range, you got to get out in the open, which is keeping naturally Bigatron purely based on how the terrain works. Super safe from any massive push. If anyone wants to push up onto BTR,
स्टार्टिंग से ही बढ़िया खेल लिए
go in the dip, or all these other teams like Thunder.
मैं तो वो देखा था अरोरा का वो आया था चिकन जब पहला रोंडो का
Yeah,
अब देखा था मैंने
right now. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to push that unless you just kind of full send it. But you're right, you can't because every other team is just looking in this exact direction here. Now I think the MENA region is gonna be pretty exciting because there's Al-Ula. They have 7 eliminations so far.
Ula ऊपर आ गया भाई Ula ऊपर
good position into this next circle. They're
भाई
looking
देख रहे हो Ula की पोजीशन देख रहे हो तुम मैप में पोजीशन देख रहे हो भाई 25 पॉइंट वाला हाँ 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 अरे क्या हो गया अरे क्या हो गया अरे क्या हो गया
away, and that's going to be claws to find Ray. No one pushing on his spot. He might make it to top 5.
The Schweppes fort is impregnable.
AJ.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Schweppes actually gets
नेट अच्छा लगा पहले नेट अच्छा है भाई
or a knock on a Ling ass. Claw steals it away. So Al-Ula getting all the points in the lobby right now. Huge.
आज BTR सेंटर बैठी है भाई इतनी टीमों के बीच में
Up into the top 3 right here and now.
बैठे कहाँ हैं ये लोग जो इनको कोई मार नहीं रहा
Now Federal leading them with 4 eliminations, applying some pressure on the Thunder Talk. 45 seconds left on the clock though. We still have 2 more zone shifts to go. Let's see what happens.
भाई पूरी डिप पकड़ रखी है भाई बहुत तगड़ी डिप है यार उन पे
Almost getting crazy. Good little repositioning here. I actually just want to try and get away from Al-Ula. I feel like that position is definitely
जहाँ से पड़ सकती थी वहाँ पे भी गाड़ी लगा दी
Al-Ula, I was really surprised. I did not expect them to make it in that dip so successfully without really taking any casualty whatsoever. So that is definitely a big win from a team that we mentioned many times going into day 1 of the finals. Hodrix, we needed to see more from after their opening day in the group stage. It was so
एक गया KRX का
they disappeared, and so does KRX apparently. What a nade! As now that creates a little bit of opportunity for them to push up, but no, decide to just remain as neighbors for the time being. and wait for the shift to see if it's going to be worth pushing or not as you go onto stage number 7, and BTR and also Al Ula still comfortably in the play zone.
Yeah, they are big chilling right now. So I think, honestly, if you're both these squads, you kind of want to stop really focusing on each other too much. You should be looking at all these teams on the edge, try to take them out first, and then battle it out for that first and second.
किसका चिकन आ रहा है फिर?
Because if Alula and
किसका चिकन आ रहा है बताओ?
start fighting, then everybody's going to be hunting down that
ये
third party.
उला, BTR, KRX, INF, TT और LGD बचे हैं, बताओ. मास्टर कोड बताओ किसका चिकन आ रहा है?
A dip a little bit further. Actually, they're almost in the zone. Actually, he is in the zone. You can see on the minimap they was about 3 meters away, but no, he did make his way in. As now, Influence Rage will make their way into a strong dip. Instant cover flare. This is great. It's going to deny.
भाई स्ट्रिक लगे पता कर लो अलाउड है या नहीं.
Plus a grenade.
भाई जो भी है यार, एक स्ट्राइक में थोड़ी होता है, 3 स्ट्राइक में होता है. वो एक स्ट्राइक लग जाएगी तो लग जाएगी. फिर अब मेरे को तो नहीं लग रहा है, नहीं है शायद कर सकता है.
Comfortable setup in this circle.
सब अलाउड है यार.
Shots on a Thunder Talk. He actually catches one of these players. That's Sid team getting knocked. How about Zing?
मैसी का चिकन आ रहा है.
Trying to make the run, and that run is
BTR गिर गई भाई, BTR हो गई.
out of there.
BTR सैंडविच हो गई.
Meanwhile, Vinny, KRX got the shotgun up close at first.
Urre.
Hit those sprays, not able to do it.
Yeah, got to hit those. Eventually, got to try and connect it. Federal will instantly
गया.
play, though he does get taken down too. Pretty swift.
हो गई भाई, हो गई.
It's going to be TRA. KRX looking to go for a little bit of a
सैंडविच हो गई.
rotation in from the edge and just sweep everyone out of the way. As BTR though still got their own utility, and the smokes do keep them alive, but the thing is, I talked about earlier how it would be really hard to get nade range, but everyone is being forced by the circle to get so close. This is too much for BTR. Too much is being
Endgame
thrown
क्या
at
लगा रहे हैं
the
यार?
exact same time, and they're getting overwhelmed. They're struggling to hold this dip down.
But you got to hold it down here. Look at the leaderboards, guys. 6th to 11th place. Talk about a game for the mid-pack right here. This is a perfect situation for them to reach the top of the leaderboards here and now. KRX, unfortunately, only with 1 elimination. They are on the edge. Their back is against the blue zone, though, so they are in a decent position. Unfortunately, 2 of their players are knocked. They're going to try to go for these reses. Meanwhile, Bigatron, yeah, dead center, but everybody wants their spot.
This game could last a while with all these dips, and crannies.
I love this
that players
terrain.
can hide in. Yeah, this is
Hand cam क्या लगाना है भाई?
Actually, you know what? This is actually a first, and I feel like for some of the players, it also might be a first.
BTR गई भाई.
Per day, so it's quite rare. And you have 1 chance to get a circle like this per day.
थोड़ा सा.
There's the nades. Number 1's good. Number 2, not gonna get Federalis, unfortunately.
वो INF के वहाँ वो किस पे नेड वेड मार रहे हैं वो लोग?
Fighting. They're loving it. It's a true rivalry. Being born here in Pmmi, but KRX, they don't have many options. The circle literally great for every team except for South Korea Hot Jukes. They have to push up right onto Bigatron.
INF का चिकन आ रहा है.
Boy, keeping an eye out, trying to catch some of these players on rotation. But man, this terrain is insane. So many dips to hide in. So much coverage. Every little
डिप बना रहे. भाई
might go down
ये
to the last
डिप है कितनी? ये देख तो एक बार तू ये.
massive game.
ये जगह कैसी है?
Federal with 6. Gonna have to back things up just a little bit because he has been spotted. And right now, it's just a battle of the peaks. Look at this perfect spot that little boy's in. This is ridiculous. Lauren's in, meanwhile. Gonna get some great angles. Influence Rage have tons of sight lines on this.
But by the way, Schweppes is still alive because LGD got
KRX गई भाई.
Schweppes is there, I believe.
पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं वो, उतना उछल क्यों रहे हैं? कवर है जब सामने उछल कितना रहे हो?
But otherwise, everyone else is just locked in on the fight here in the dip around Bigatron. So Schweppes might have a good time as he does actually get... I don't know, I thought he was getting pushed up for a second. It was looking a bit weird, but no. Al-Ula not going to commit to the roadside. And Schweppes is still in zone. Look at that. He's still in phase 8. It's going to go to phase 9, which is, as we know, when the fight is truly going to break out, Hot Jukes. I think Schweppes is getting top 2. I think he's easily secured the top 2 in this fight.
Well, this is stage 9. The zone is going to start closing down, and it hurts. So
डिप बना रहे.
he's on the edge of it. He's going to have to move up. But you're right. I don't think they know where he is at all. Has he hit shots enough? No, I think Pedrino is looking his direction. Yeah.
उला उबर का चिकन आ रहा है भाई.
If the circle doesn't favor influence rate, which it doesn't.
INF गई देख तू ये.
on that high ground.
INF वहाँ उस पे जाती है. वहाँ उला आ जाती है. उला फाइट करेगी देख.
He wants to eliminate Schweppes. I feel like Schweppes might struggle because of Pedrino.
Pedrino not playing, saying no crossing the road here. I need all those eliminations. Al-Ula, meanwhile, 10 eliminations on themselves. 2 massive games from these squads. All right, here we go. It's going to be a 4v4 plus Schweppes. what can Schweppes do? He's waiting. He's chilling. The zone is going to start closing. But Influence Rage do have the high
R38 मारता है देख इसे.
to their advantage. Let's see. Lauren's in. Going to start throwing some nades out. Smokes coming out as well. Schweppes now no longer the priority as it's going to be a huge 4v4 battle. Federal is knocked.
You could see that he's still Lorenzen trying to look at the two teams. Schweppes going to be spotted out, put solo, but eventually will be swept under the rug. That's still going to be a podium finish.
INF को पनौती लगा दी भाई तूने. हैंड कैम के साथ देखने की आदत है आपको. Oh my God. कोई नहीं बात नहीं यार ड्रैगन भाई आज ऐसे ही देख लो. INF को पनौती लगा दी ना तूने. इजी जीत रही थी भाई.
I'll tell you what. We saw them in the group stage. When they won the Rondo, they couldn't stop winning. Will we see the same thing happen from this MENA team here in day 2 of the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational Grand Finals? What a start for this squad. Man, everybody watch.
ओपनिंग सेरेमनी देख लो यार.
台上的人凭什么？
देख रहे हो. अरे ये क्या हो गया? अरे ये क्या हो गया? अटक क्यों गया?
बचाओ मम्मी बाढ़.
अरे भाई ये क्या खुला है?
They needed it big time here, so I'm really
CORSAIR.
just how far up they're going to move up the leaderboards right
क्या लिख रहे हैं ये?
I believe was it 9th place before this?
Godlike versus all Pakistan and Indonesia teams.
Okay, so they were
Godlike वाले हर जगह आ जाते हैं यार.
where are they?
यहाँ भी पूछ रहे होंगे Godlike वाले. Godlike टीम कहाँ है? Godlike को दिखाओ तो नहीं लिख रहा कोई.
Be interested to see just like, hey, where are you at now? Because that is a great start.
I mean, they should be.
Physical quality in India is far better than this quality.
Aurora, Furia, RRQ, even the side of all gamers.
India लिख रहा है ये.
And Bigatron Shaw made it very deep in the match, made it to top 5. Elimination-wise, was very low. So
But India is the free point for global lobby win.
That could be a massive achievement for a team that we said we need to see more from them in the finals. Though, I don't want to see what we saw on day 1 of the finals where they got one good performance and they kind of fizzled out afterwards and kind of disappeared in the other 5 matches. No, I want to see consistency from Al Ula if they want to keep that MENA dream alive.
Yeah, all they got to do is kind of repeat what they did in the group stage. It's going to be a little bit tougher when considering that these teams are set up here. But yeah, 25 points. That is the start you want, and that usually gives your team the confidence, right, for the rest of the tournament to keep popping off. But it still takes consistency, right? We saw S2G yesterday have a great game, and then it was just nothing afterwards. Ula's gonna have to try and avoid that at all costs. Influence Rage though, putting up 19 in second. All Gamers and E-Arena with 11. And Tianba though, right? Still putting up consistent points, Max, no matter what.
That's scary. That is really scary, especially when the top 5 were taken out so quickly with very, very minimal points. I do wonder, is that point lead still going to be as high as it was before this match, or is it going to be increasing, which I'm sure most of the teams, if not all the teams except for Jamba, would definitely be hoping for. Second page of this game, Weibo, that's my biggest upset right now. Weibo, they were in 13th position before today. And if they want to make it to Paris for PMWC, they need to overtake all of their PL brothers, like your Thunder Talks, your LGDs, and the teams above them, especially like your All Gamers. They need to try and catch up to everyone else. But as of right now, the points are just not showing up for the Chinese super team.
Let's take a look here at the overall rankings. Oh boy, Al Ula pushing up to second place. So yeah, we knew his top
Ula
five.
second place पे आ गई भाई.
They are the number 2 squad.
59 के साथ.
Tianbo are going to be leading the charge, obviously 76 points, have a nice thick lead to start things off here. They still have 5 matches left to go, but Tianba are looking so set up in this one.
Look at it. Al Ula had 34 points all of yesterday, and today 25 points. They're pretty much already... silver medal. Gonna give it up for bronze one right now. And
दो जैसे क्या वॉच पार्टी हो रही है?
A little bit out of contention. The good comeback. And that's going to keep them back in that discussion for the lobby leaders. Second page, though. And 16th position respectively. We need to see some kind of presence next games, or otherwise that PMWC dream is really going to be hard to lock down.
Hey, speaking of like doubling your points, right? I mean, look at Influence Rage. Where were they at? They were at 15th place. Yeah, 15th place at the start of the day. They had 25 points, and they have officially almost doubled their score.
अरे क्या हो रहा है?
These guys can do way better. We need to see some better presence here from these guys. Actually, no, that was Weibos before. They got second place. There you go. Second place on game 4 of yesterday. That was what was happening for D+. As QZ's going to be up there. And again here for the top damage. Expected, realistically, Hodgkinster. He's always going to be #1 on these graphics. Well done.
Yeah, Tianba.
Yeah.
QZZ is looking lock right now for the MVP title because he's just been so consistent. But man, guys, that is how you start off the day here. When it comes to Rondo, we got some Aaron Gale coming up. Don't go anywhere.
अरे स्टार्ट हो जा. Thank you, PUBG. रोनाल्डो का गोल देख लो भाई. जूनिरो
As out of now, all of these teams, we've seen a massive comeback from some squads, especially we saw All Gamers, E-Arena get some big points on board, especially Al Ula with that Rondo chicken dinner. Now is the time we need to answer that main question for Al Ula. Can they finally get some good results on Erangel? If they don't do so when the lobby is looking so ruthless towards the very tippy top of those rankings, they will fall out of top 2 in a matter of seconds unless they start to bring out consistent points, which is why I want to see. I need to see their bad games be 4 or 5 pointers if they want to have a chance to compete at the very top here with the likes of Tiamba, Furia, and Aurora.
Well, let's see what
Aurora.
happens as we're getting ready into the match. The plane is already flying. It's Aaron Gale here for the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational 2026 Grand Finals. All right, guys, here we go. Looking at the leaderboards again, Tianba on top, 76 points. And then you have Al Ula right behind him with 59. Going all the way down, though, man, this is still pretty close. I mean, all the way down to 7th has 49 points. If any of these teams in the top 8 get a chicken dinner here, you could make a run for it and catch up to Tianba. But you got to do it right here, right now. And you also got to find a way to somehow slow down Tianba because these guys are putting up points no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, as we said earlier, if you do get in a bit of a early encounter, even a mid-game encounter,
चलो बताओ ये एंगल किसका चिकन आ रहा है?
get a knock converted into a flush, it then tells you in the elimination feed it is in fact Tiamba. Then you got to decide, is it worth it to commit to the fight, or do we just let them leave wounded without a player, maybe 2, depending on how the fight went down.
Ooh, WBG.
A circle, kind of a bad one. Looking at it, sure, it's great with a playing path for some of the Western teams, but otherwise, it's a lot of water in play. And if we do get a coastal finish here, this circle could be all great if phase 2 goes high up north, Hot Jukes, but if it goes south towards Primorsk, Ferry Pier Beach, or even goes straight onto Sovnovka Military Island, which Aurora would love, by the way, this could become a bit of a hectic Erangel match. So we'll see how things are going to go down. Is it going to be a good or an awful
Hectic
match?
Erangel
I
match.
think this circle is tough, right? I mean, like you mentioned, almost half the zone is in water. That means that half of this is unplayable. Like, you have to really loot up fast. Try to get to a good position in this next circle because there's now half the spots that you are used to.
Wait,
Weibo?
half? Wait,
Huh?
are we looking at the same map? I would say like
भाई WBG 16 पे चल रही भाई.
30%.
I mean, are you taking Millie,
35%
though?
unplayable? Yeah, I do count military as playable right now.
I know,
yeah,
but
it
are
is
you
because
going
you can stay there.
Do you think the zone's going to go there, though? You know what I'm saying? I don't.
I mean, then if it's not in zone, then the next zone will not have military. Then it will not be playable in the first place. So if it goes north, then military is not in play, but 100% of the zone is playable. I don't know. Maybe my explanation is not the best right there.
I get what
but
you're trying
it's
to say.
playable right now for phase 1. It
Yeah,
is.
no, for sure. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, yeah, there's definitely no, like, non-playable area where you can go. But it's just as far as trying to rotate in and try to find a safe spot into the circle. If you're going to take the northern island, right, there's only so many spots available. So, like, you really have to kind of get looted and get there quickly. Because if this was, you know, a traditional, like, yeah, it's Naya field place, like, yeah, you can set up on the edge, wait for the next zone, and then try to catch a third party on in. It's going to be a little bit harder here, I think, with the zone.
Okay, no, I definitely get what you mean, because it's unlikely that it goes there. That is a point that I'm willing to accept, because the circle would have to shift in a very particular set of ways, back to back to back, for it to actually end up going on military. But otherwise, Aurora, Thunder Talk, they're going to be looting up down there. Aurora military base, Nova Ripnoy is going to be the drop location for Thunder Talk, which they're really happy about that spot because there's no GOAT team anymore, right? So that makes it very easy for them to get all the loot without having to clash for it whatsoever. But you do have to keep in mind, how are you going to leave? Which really I would say is the main mindset, because sure, it is playable now, Hot Jukes, which is what I was saying. But if you are those teams, you need to already start thinking about the circle has, let's say, a 90% chance it's going to be shifting towards the mainland. Maybe teams are going to be looking to hold the bridge. We don't know. We haven't scouted it. How are we going to pull off that rotation? And what I would love to see from Aurora is maybe try and get, or even Thunder Talk, for example, if they want, which is easier for them because they're in Novo, which has a lot of boat spawns. Get a hovercraft and just try and play around the coast if you can. I feel like that would be the safest option, because the bridge, you never know. If it's crazy, you don't know. And if there's no team, it's an easy cross, but without information, it's literally a 50-50 gamble at that point.
Yeah, the good thing about this circle is that, you know, if it does go to Quarry is one of those places where you can, like, have so many teams just together and make stuff happen. So I think we're going to probably see some teams most likely try to secure that area a little bit sooner than later. There's still quite a few squads, though, outside of this circle. They're just looting up fast. I know it's stage 1, but usually when I see a circle like this, I expect to see teams move just that much faster. And it does look like that is happening. Furia already on the drive over. Al-Ula and Lepovka are going to have the furthest rotation. We'll see when they decide to get going here. Tianba are also in there. It looks like Tianba, Al-Ula, the 2 top teams, are going to be kind of forced to play edge as they're moving into this next zone. Very, very nice.
Oh, that quick drop. Yeah, quick drive-by already across the bridge. Very good setup here, making it next to the gas station from Aurora. Really good. I mean, yeah, so they're going with the idea. No Way is going back to the mainland, but again, straight to Longwood, and there's going to be RQ. They already set up shop up here. Are they going to look to give up that location for free? Because RQ normally, early game, don't really want to commit to fights, and they are going to go more on the retreat. And Aurora, are you going to go on the offensive here? No way they want to commit to the fight. This would be such a weird engage, because you're already in circle. You made your push over the road. You have a few buildings literally north of you with the warehouse. Actually, they're going to go there exactly as I was hoping for. Okay, glad to see Aurora not taking that unnecessary fight. That could have been really, really bad if they committed to it.
Absolutely, especially like the timing is the worst because you got everybody on rotation. You do that fight, you're getting third party, guaranteed. So yeah, Aurora, gonna be checking these buildings just in case there's any people that are holding it down and not moving a muscle. But nope, that whole area is all to themselves there. So a beautiful rotation on the side of Aurora. Everybody else, though, yeah, you can see it's just the great migration at this point. Just trying to find a spot in this next zone. S2G having a rough run. Pressing that Pachinki Hill. Looks like it is going to be a safe rotation, though. So nobody going to be messing with them. And it looks like this is where they're going to stay. Aurora does end up catching Federales. Okay. Ziol. That's going to be from a good, solid range. But we're going to be looking on over to this fight between Furia and All Gamers. Igor gets knocked by Maple. Rest of the team. Ooh, yeah, he ended up pushing there, kind of by himself. I don't know what happened? Maybe they called the push and the rest of the team was on the way. He was scouting. I'm not sure.
I think what happened, they saw S2G push up from that mountain over to Pachinko.
क्या दिख रहा है? क्या दिख गया भाई?
Should be free, right? Because there's no way there's going to be another squad with them. But in the process, all gamers do the same rotation and they get caught off guard. So I think that's what happened. And unfortunately, Igor will be taken out of the picture. But this circle, hard western shift. At least taking away Military Island out of the equation, which is great. No team's going to have to start to think about that bridge location. But Weibo in particular, as we know, Hot Tricks, every single Wrangle game, if they can, they will be dropping in Primorsk. It's dead center of the circle. But also, Quarry is in play. And as you mentioned, a lot of teams are focused over there in those extra buildings in that location. So we could keep...
किसका चिकन आ रहा है? किसका चिकन आ रहा है? जल्दी बताओ, जल्दी बताओ. अभी तक सब टीमें बची हैं. जल्दी बताओ. जल्दी बताओ कौन मेजी है, अभी पता चल जाएगा. किसका चिकन आ रहा है बता दीपू. WBG या AG का. अब देख, WBG और AG दोनों मरेंगे अभी. देख तूने नाम ले लिया ना, अभी मर जाएंगी ये.
That's Tianba. Down a player. Okay. So Tianba are going to find this building here. And it looks like, yeah, Milu, this is where he's going to go ahead and park it up. The rest of the team's going to be coming to this side as well. So Tianba do end up making safely, but they lose a player in the process.
Aurora.
They're actually getting pushed up on All Gamers, so they're trying to leave, but they do have a bit of an early clash with Furia on the way. I feel like
ये लोगों ने गिरा देना चाहिए यार. ये कैसा खेलने पता नहीं यार.
Away from his teammates, and they're getting actually way too close to S2G. They are spread apart. They find it, okay, instantly avoiding getting squashed, and he's going to go into the vehicle. But Doc punishes it right there. What a good reaction. He's like, oh, you think you're safe in that car? No, no, no. He picks it up, and that's going to be top. Also getting the second. S2G, they had the defense.
DJ ने मार दिया वहाँ से.
But Aurora tears down the entire squad.
Aurora और S2G की फाइट होती है तो DK या LGD थर्ड पार्टी करते हैं ये.
It's a fourth party as well, so LGD are looking to get in.
LGD करती है तो फिर DK आ जाती है.
Does end up getting some sight lines. There's
LGD ने कर दी भाई.
Go ahead and put some shots on and pressure Aurora just that much more.
You know, even though the fight worked out initially for Aurora, I am surprised they committed so aggressively.
LGD मजे ले गई भाई 3 किल निकाल लिए
So taken away, straight back to the lobby you go. But LGD is so opportunistic. I love to see it, especially for a team that's currently in 15th position. They haven't given up hope. They're still trying to get these points on board. They see an opportunity for a third party. They're like, it's phase 2. Screw it. We don't care. Let's send it right into the fray. And they do get 3 eliminations off the back of that alone. So LGD still have that chance to make it. And especially looking at the point threshold, one good game, they could be in the middle pack. So there's still a lot of chances for LGD to do good in this match.
Meanwhile, we're going to watch Bigatron, though. Bigatron in some trouble here against all gamers. They're already down 2 players. Axel is completely isolated. That Molotov does look good. Actually, just a little bit too far to the left. Somehow missing that tree. You should have just really locked that one in. The next zone is about to pop, though. Are we going to get the Corey finish? Okay.
पेड़ पे मार रहे पेड़ पे
Makes things very interesting. All gamers and Bigatron are going to have to wrap this fight up sooner rather than later because they want to find a spot into this next zone. RRQ going to have an interesting wrap. Al Ula are going to have a beautiful rotation on this north side. So they're going to be set up very, very nicely in this game.
गाइस जितने भी लोगों ने लाइक नहीं किया लाइक कर दो यार स्ट्रीम को जल्दी से एक बार लाइक कर देना जितने भी लोग नए आ रहे हो
on that highway and he just got his entire team in such a comfortable position. And this time that was a solo hopefully as a full team would be great to see as XZZ picked off by Ayala. Furia looking to continue their reign of terror on the battlegrounds. But that flush not going to be too easy to lock down as the red is still possible at this point. But Weibo, they were alone inside Primorsk for the entirety of this match, but now they've got
WBG की फाइट देख ले भाई ये
and Tiamba. That future exit outside of the city is definitely going to get tricky for Weibo in the very near future.
Yeah, especially considering that this zone's moving. This zone's moving away from here almost 100%. So
definitely.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Influence Rage are set up well in this game with their full 4-man. They have a nice compound dead center. Alula have the north side.
Where are they going? Onto Nongshu?
No, I think they're just trying to find a way onto the edge of
गई WBG गई भाई
but they drive end up right into
पनौती लगा दी ना
and Hyunbin
दीपू भाई पनौती लगा दी ना बेचारों को मत कर भाई मत कर वैसे बेचारे लास्ट में चल रहे हैं वो
They knew. Nongshim just read right through 33Z like a book. It was a good play from Weibo, I will say, but Nongshim knew exactly what's going to be happening, and they set up and now even.
क्या है कितने खतरनाक यार 3 बंदों को हवा बोर्ड में जाना चाहिए था एक बंदे को जाना चाहिए था गाड़ी में
And I'm surprised.
वो 3 बंदे गाड़ी में जा रहे हैं एक जा रहा है हवर बोर्ड में
And one play in the hovercraft. I'm surprised they didn't go for that rotation with the hovercraft on the front line. They did it earlier when scouting.
हवर बोर्ड बोल रहा हूँ हवरक्राफ्ट में
It was Kami in the hovercraft checking out the Furia's not in the surrounding area. But here Weibo, very risky play. You go out in the open. That's an easy double knockoff to Suk and Suki. And even Bay almost taken.
Suk और Suki दोनों मर गए भाई.
Looking pretty bad here. Weibo, there was a good opportunity, but the execution a little bit rough around the edges.
Worst timing too. I mean, Weibo are in last place right now, which is crazy to say. These are your previous champs here, and the only 2025 champs in the lobby. Just not able to get things going. And it's always the worst feeling too.
2-man chicken. अभी मरते हैं ये लोग भी देख तो.
To be in your home turf, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really see too many Primorsk zones. We happen to see it here in the late game, and it just doesn't work out for them.
Hyunbin आ गया ये.
Weibo haven't left yet, and Hyunbin's already looting them. I don't know.
और ये क्या कमेंट्री कर रही है? क्यों कर रही है?
The mountain is still in play to the west from Nongshim, so Weibo, if Nongshim was not there, they would have an amazing rotation. But it doesn't pan out as expected, so Nongshim maybe going for the win this match. We did see for a split second, Weibo going the other way. But this RRQ, as we said earlier, Hodrix, there's no escape from Primorsk. Weibo are truly stuck in that city.
Meanwhile, look at this.
Bye.
Here as well, that's the Eagle holding down this Wizard.
अरे तियनबा कहाँ है?
Getting the better of it so far. Here comes Starpeko coming into the mix.
अरे क्या खेल रही है?
Can't do it. Hyunbin and now Nongshim Red Force are going to be third partying this. It is a party.
जा. QCZ रस कर उस पे रस कर.
Okay, so many teams committing to this tower, but it's not even that strong. I prefer maybe a push from RQ on the mountain of Nongshim Red Force. That could have made a little
चिंपैंजी बैठा रखा है भाई.
the risk, and unfortunately the odds were just not in their favor this time around.
ले भाई
But
Oh,
Tiamba
wow.
looking for the re-engage. That's a massive third party. And while all of this is happening, Weibo still struggling to make it out. You can see on the minimap in red on the right side, they're still stuck in those main buildings of Primorsk. They want a third party, but Milu is just already on the outskirts.
तियानबा कंसिस्टेंट है भाई.
Making sure that while Eagle and QZZ are fighting near that tower, they don't get backstabbed by Weibo. What a beautiful setup from the Chinese team.
And
Oh, the
speaking
boat
of-
defense. Oh, that's huge. He sets up a wall with the.
All
Oh, I love
right.
that. That is great.
Hey,
ले
good,
भाई.
good. Hey, both
ले.
of you end up on
WBG का एक और
now's
knock.
the time to do it, right? To make sure that you get a little bit of extra coverage there on the beach. Beautifully played, and not to mention, look at Tianba, right? Tianba, 5 points on the board. This squad is just putting up consistent points no matter what.
They are. Every time it's Tiamba o'clock. By the way, it's really cool. The boats can't shoot under the boat. Sorry, I'm a big fan of that play. No, I'm talking about it too much. It's really cool. It's so cool. Just putting that boat on the beach. Don't have to pop any wheels.
Beach boat.
It's a very safe position. Beach boat. As Bay,
सोलो चिकन देख.
Soul
हाँ देख ही रहा हूँ बस.
BG, and Weibo maybe clutch up a few eliminations on Nongshim. I don't think so, because look at XZY. Sure, he's very close to them, but he's not over peaking. He's not overconfident. He is respectful of what Weibo can do.
हाँ बिनी मार दिया भाई. बिनी याद है दीपू तेरे को जो शेक पे खेला था इसने. भाई शेक पे बग्गी से उतार दिया था भयंकर पंप से.
Could get instantly punished. So let's quickly regroup. Connect back onto Fizzy and company, and they still maintain position on that mountaintop.
करते करते दीवार में छेद कर दिया आज.
In this match, and currently in 10th position, one big game, they could be closing up with the top 5.
Yeah, this needs to be it right here, because we're seeing, I mean, you want to win this tournament, and Tianba are running away with it at this point, so you need to catch up sooner than later. And you can see Hyunbin
ले
trying to soak up some of these
ले
eliminations. Milu is going to catch
ले
Bay at
तियानबा ने मार दिया अब.
for the side of Tianba.
वहां से आरसी मार रही थी, वहां से तियानबा मार रही है.
Zone is going to close. Are we going to see another wild shift to start things off here? Let's see.
That blue zone's going to take R2 on phase 5. No amount of meds can really help you unless you got like 20 med kits. You might be able to get some placement points, but still top
एजी
12.
कब मरी.
Reach top 8 circle.
वो एजी मर गई.
Mountain of Nongshim Red Force.
ले भाई भाई कितना भाई मेजी है भाई तू.
Cross around.
तू नाम मत लिया अगर भाई टीमों का.
Most of the beaches actually is going to be taken out.
भाई
especially
एजी मर भी गई भाई.
Al-Ula is not in zone anymore, so that boat we saw earlier, it was a great play.
वो
but
वो
it's
फाबियान अपनी टीममेट को फोड़ दे रहा है वो.
and Weibo, final few bandages.
ले भाई
Bandages,
दो टीमों का नाम लिया था, बेचारी दोनों मर गई भाई.
that is a massive L. No placement points for their trouble. Same for KRX.
KRX भी गई.
And by the boys of KRX.
Man, I love what E-Arena did earlier. We saw one of the players, it was Mormon. He took these blues very, very early on in a 3-1 split.
चिकन आ रहा है.
Here and the rest of E-Arena
Oh shit यार.
followed their teammates. Now we see Nongshim Red Force pushing onto D plus Kia.
भाई मैं डी प्लस क्या का नाम ही लेने वाला था भाई. ये तो मर गई.
Just pressuring D plus, taking them out one by one. That is them.
नोलबू बचा है बस.
It is just Nobu
तियानबा का आ रहा है.
himself in a shack.
तियानबा का तो नहीं आ रहा भाई. तियानबा 3 मैन है.
Is he on the back angle to make sure they can...
ईए का चिकन आ सकता है. ईए का
300-meter split. I really feel like that was maybe a little bit overzealous from them, but so far they are still alive as a 3-man. So you know what? Maybe I'm a little bit hypercritical, but it was definitely working out versus D plus Kia.
अब देख तियानबा मरेगी. देख अब तियानबा की बारी है मरने की. देख तूने नाम ले लिया ना. तूने नाम ले लिया, अब मरेगी. देखिए
Rotation with the vehicle. If they can find a knock onto Nongshim, actually that would be an easy engage for them. We get the damage force and them right back into hiding behind the smokes. One player has been knocked. So you know what, Tiamba would say this might be your time to go for the push.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you think Tianba's going to be able to make it out of this circle? It doesn't look likely. They are in big trouble here because they got Furia locking eyes with them. Nongshim Red Force going to be keeping tabs there as well. So yeah, Tianba doing great so far, but they got a new vehicle.
देख सब उतरते हैं. सब उतरते हैं. सब उतरते हैं. तियानबा के सब उतरेंगे. देख
Shot up.
ये देख एक उतरा.
They can make things happen there. One of their players does.
अरे
2ZZ.
दो उतरे.
Shot up. Ah, he gets taken out as well.
Oh no, ammo!
ले ओए
Yeah, that's it. Tianba
there you go.
eliminated.
That is the win. We'll also get so easy back up, and Tizzy's there too. So yeah, I really thought this was not going to work, but it feels like everything is just
NSR
falling right into place. On
अयोगी जीतेगा.
when you have have all your players in one vehicle, it really goes to show they were just desperate.
चुप यार तू भाई
Nothing was going to work out for them.
तियानवा भी मर गई भाई भाई मत ले भाई नाम मत ले भाई
Getting close to because he was literally had no more ammo in his main magazine for his AI. He had to swap over to the DBS, but he didn't have to shoot a
भाई साहब इसने 3 टीमों का नाम लिया तीनों के 3 मर गई
7 eliminations from Nongshim, and we've been seeing throughout the entirety of this game, they've just been climbing and climbing throughout those rankings. Now 47, just shy of maybe a spot in the top 5 if they can.
चिकन आ रहा है ईए का
Which is doable with this circle. Maybe we'll see South Korea towards the very top of the rankings, which we would love to see happen for this roster.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for everybody to try to catch up to Tianba as well. There's still quite a few squads here. Influence Rage are going to have the north side. They have 45 points. Win here could put them into top 2.
यू लगा चिकन
Let's see what they can
उला
do.
ऊबर भी मर गई फिर मर गई
Have a full squad as well. The next zone does pop.
उला ऊबर भी मर गई अब देख तू
So
तूने नाम ले लिया ना
a normal circle shift. S2G, meanwhile, they did great on the first Aaron Gale yesterday. Gonna try to repeat that, but it's gonna be tough. They are down a player. Soul K is gone. Oh, Kami looking to get up in their action, but gets shot in the drive-by.
S2G.
Dominating here on position.
Fantastic drive-by, and now they're behind that shed. I would say just play behind the shed and go for the nades if you can influence Rage. This is a very nadeable position. One nade available for Noranzin and also one Molotov. One Molotov just to deny the shed completely would be huge.
S2G गई भाई
That second nade.
एक नेड अंदर गई
Short, not able to get any damage through that door frame.
Bye-bye.
Come on, one nade is going to be good. They do get lost. MCG pushed out right into the Molotov. That is how you do it. The Influence Rage way has been amazing so far.
फ्यूरिया अरे 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 अरे
They're ready for
कैसा जिगल गया उसने
once again.
Yes, they are. This is the start of Influence Rage roaring back from the bottom of the leaderboards. They were, what, 15th place at the start of the day? That pushes them up to 8. 49 points here. And they could go all the way to second place if they win this game and get a whole bunch of eliminations. They have the high ground. They got the sight lines. Can they capitalize on it?
Possibility. Jing trying to pull a Schweppes here. Same for Nolbu actually. Also pulling Schweppes.
अरे अरे
Good one taps. Jing.
उला भी मर गई रे
He's gonna try and flush it out. Will he get it?
Nice.
Almost does. Yasa a little bit too preoccupied by Nolbu's.
उला को भी मरवा दिया रे इसने
And also bullets.
ओए क्या कर रहा है रे
No survival whatsoever.
मत ले भाई नाम मत ले
And that is gonna be them taking.
ये टीमें तो तू हार जाएंगे ऐसे
Connecting onto Nolbu a little bit there. Gotta be careful. Did have the flame animation on.
4 टीमें मरवा दी भाई
But he will be fine in the shed. Hopefully Circle 7 favors his position so he can just maybe secure an easy podium and get those placement points on board. The Influence Rage versus Nongshim. Now this is the fight that could decide who will be securing that chicken dinner if they survive as a full team.
Yeah, you can see Influence Rage doing a beautiful split.
INF confirm
That northeastern side here. Just going to be holding it down. E-Arena are going to be the only team inside the building, and they're going to be holding that position. Meanwhile,
INF 4 मैन भी मर सकती है तूने नाम ले लिया देखा
They gotta wait for the circle. Yeah, they're trying to see is this position going to be valuable in phase 7. For now, it would be just a fight that.
INF पे बहुत एरिया है यार जो उनका चिकन आ भी सकता है
Some rotations like that happening early in the game where it doesn't make sense and yet teams still commit to it. But now, really, Influence Rage, if this is a hard Eastern shift and their position is out of zone, I feel like they are going to commit to a full-on straight-up engage onto Nongshim, take the 4v3. But unfortunately, they don't have the hovercraft anymore, which would be a good way to make the cross. But good position here on the ridge. Lord Boy in particular up there with Federal, making sure that Nongshim can't peek aggressively on that ridge line, and he's going to get some extra loot on the road.
INF को दिखाया मैंने सोचा INF और मर गई भाई फिर INF मर गई सोचा मैंने
feeling nice right now, to be honest.
Would be
Next zone,
great.
Yeah, that'd be really
अरे
good.
जिंग 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 भाई ज्यादा मत उछलो भाई
Influence
in zone.
Rage. Oh, yeah, you're right. This is wide out in the open here. The only player in zone
ले
is
भाई
Noble.
भाई
Yeah, so easy with the 1v2 nade. Influence Rage looking so dominant, and just like
भाई INF भी गई भाई
take the advantage.
That nade was so easy indeed. He's trying to flush it out. He's got an extra nade. Maybe you should use it to not show yourself to Loranzin and Pedrino. He does overpeak it. Little boy will be snuffed out. of the game. Pedrino will make the cross. I would say if you Influence Rage, or you fully commit to the aggression onto an Nongshim Red Force, or you just try and survive, maybe sending yourself in a circle or something to live it out. I would say that kind of out of option. Even sending it out in the open is just not the right way to play it, as Federal also going to be fully eliminated. That's going to be double-digit eliminations taken away by Nongshim Red Force, finally showing their true potential in this lobby.
Nongshim Red Force.
Invitational. The Nongshim, just relentless. They know their position is not in zone anymore, but they're going to use
INF भी मरवा दी रे इस इंसान ने 4 बंदे मरवा दिए 2 बंदों ने मार दिए 4 बंदों को
looking so strong, so
ओए नाम मत ले भाई मेरा नाम तो लेना ही मत मेरे लिए भविष्यवाणी मत करना कभी
Looking unstoppable. That nade from so easy just boom, turned the scales in the opposite direction. Pedrino hiding behind the tree right now, just trying to find some angles. But Nongshim Red Force
इजी को पता है शायद यार
well, taking out E-Arena Mormon. They are stacking some points on the leaderboards here. Tizzy, I think he knows. Got to be a player behind that tree. He has a nade. He's not utilizing it. Okay, so they are not looking towards Pedrino. Kind of a mistake here. Did they forget about him?
मार रहा है भाई नीड मार रहा है NSR
No, he's definitely not forgetting about it. But like, Nordwood just got an elimination onto the side of Irina. This could be huge. Just get the nade. Tizzy nicely secured.
ले भाई
11 eliminations total and a position on the podium. Massive, massive game. But can they convert into a chicken dinner? Schweppes also looking to get.
भाई 11 किल मार दिए भाई उन्होंने NSR ने
They will get extra placement points and then one extra elim. Good elimination for Nordwood though. He picks up one as they get actively third party by Nongshim Red Force. They're just taking everything for themselves. And that is it.
3v1
It's going to be XCY to get it.
चल नोलबू मार दे चल नोलबू दिखा दे
Up to 5 eliminations.
एक 1v3 हो जाए
Versus his other South Korean team. It's a 3v1 scenario. Can Nolbu bring it home?
Let's see.
अरे मत कर पागल नोलबू
I think he can bring it straight to the lobby. He's got that nade there locked and loaded.
अरे यार
It is Nongshim Red Force to win the game. And they are not going to get that elimination today. But it's the South Korean team that gets the victory. That is how you do it. Wow. And they were playing the south side of that.
NSR
Let me guess which team was going to win it. Looking at that zone earlier on, I wouldn't have picked them. But they made it happen regardless.
Yeah, I was going to pick E-Arena, but really
NSR का चिकन आ गया भाई
Literally 90% of the game was just amazingly executed. Get rid of Weibo, deny all of this team's trying to make a quick exit outside of Primorsky, especially in the likes of Tiamba. That was a really, really big fight. So easy with a fantastic grenade onto Influence Rage, really just locked this game in their favor. And E-Arena sure tried to make a quick exit into the zone to control the area, but realistically, you got no terrain advantage. All you have is low, flat ground that you can't use in any way.
देखा NSR बोला था ना
Nice win.
NSR बोला था यार बोला था भाई NSR ही बोला था तूने
Named himself at the end in that shed to make sure he denies the point away from Nongshim Red Force, so that could be something that haunts them at the later stage of the tournament if they're just 1 point away from a higher position in the rankings.
Yeah, Nobu knew it. He was like, I'm in this shack. I know I can hit them shots.
XYZ XZ भाई
But hey, look, MVP is going to be XZY.
ऐसा ही है भी
Almost 1200 damage. Beautiful done here. And right on
देख ले दीपू तो
time too.
दीपू देख ले भाई
In the running.
तुक्कल को तू टाइम बाद लगना दो तुक्कल न लगना रे किस्मत देख ले दो
Almost 1.2k damage from XCY. I mean, these two
पेपर क्या का पेपर दिन से तुक्क न मार रही है भाई देख ले क्यों ना दो
especially the double knock with one single piece of utility on Influence Rage. That's really a good conversion from utility usage into actual limbs. So well done to him, but XCY will be the one in terms of top stats. Now, looking at some of the highlights of this game, this one, this is when you look at Aurora and you're like, kind of trolling a little bit. Even though the fight was good initially, sending it out there in the open for position is not even that great at that moment of the game. A bit of a head scratcher. I feel like there were just better options available where they wouldn't even have to fight, and yet.
तो बहुत सही मारता हूँ मैं कल लाडले मियाओ मियाओ गॉब 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 मियाओ मियाओ
From Nongshim. Now, Influence Rage, yeah, they have the north side here. That nade, though, from so easy. That's the nade that won in the match.
I would say so. I feel like it just made it way easier for them to get rid of Influence Rage on that ridge line, and then the entire team falls apart. If that ridge line is
यहाँ तुक्का नहीं मार रहा था तुक्का ही मार यार तू 13 किल चिकन मारा है भाई 23 पॉइंटर मार दिया
third party it and maybe secure the win, unless Notable clutches it, which he could have. Who knows? In a different world, maybe Notable was the one taking the win away. But Nongshim Red Force, 13 eliminations, 23 points total on the match. I feel like they might not be number one in terms of overall points. There were so many other teams that had high eliminations, but 23 might still put them number one. Let's here we go. Let's take it. It's going to be 23. Actually, a decent gap between themselves and E-Arena that did get 9 elims. But yeah, Nongshim, it was the Nongshim show from start to finish.
Hey, they're clutching up the Middle Park Kings here, making it happen there. 23 total points on the leaderboards. That's going to set them up pretty here.
अगला चिकन फ्यूरिया का या डीके का
So getting 11 here was great for them. But man, dude, this leaderboard
देखते हैं फिर
anyone's game here, Max, right? The only thing is that Tianba are putting up points so consistently. So they're going to have a little bit of a point gap. But for the rest of the leaderboard, still anyone's game.
It really is. So many teams can still...
गॉड लाइक कहाँ है दिखने वाले नहीं आ रहे यार क्या बात
You better come back now if you want to have an opportunity to do well in day 3 of the PMMI finals. Though second page, a lot of 0 pointers and Weibo.
We saw at the same time, right? It was just like, what's going on?
Again, I think the idea behind their rotation to leave Primorsk was a good idea. It's just the execution. You're not utilizing.
दीपू मैं जा रहा हूँ यार मेरे को नींद लग रही है अब.
Play on the front line and the rest of your team to follow up, and they didn't even scout. They just like. I think they maybe just expected that position to be free, which we know as a fact, Hotrix, that was not a free rotation, as Nongshim Red Force were there, and as they get the win, they jump up on the podium.
Yeah, Weibo didn't want that fight. They just wanted
2 मैच बहुत है यार आज के लिए.
But Nongshim, they knew it, right? They're like, there's going to be a team coming through here. It's most likely going to be Weibo, and we got to punish them, and they did. So they're going to go all the way up to 3rd place. So